Uh, can anyone from the audience confirm if they can see my slide before I proceed? Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. So, good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining in today. For those of you who do not know me, let me take this opportunity to introduce myself and my firm. So, my name is Surbi Kumar, and I am the founder of the Dream Catchers. Now, what is the Dream Catchers? We are primarily an independent education consulting firm, and we are based out of Mumbai, but we do serve students from Pan India, and also in our last intake, we were able to serve students from Middle East as well. And our mission is very simple and straightforward, that we want to assist students in realizing their dream of obtaining quality and best fit education. Of course, through our array of services, we try to achieve this mission. But just to give you some understanding of what our services are, again, for those of you who are joining our webinar for the first time, I think this will help you give a full understanding of what we do and how do we help students. So for students who are in grade 9th and 10th, and even in grade 8th, there is a need to do the subject selection and stream selection, and especially with the international boards, be it IB or be it Cambridge, and even to an extent national board like ICSC, and now with NEP, CBSC as well. There is plethora of subject options, right? So of course, sometimes it ends up being the problem of plenty, and we try to simplify that decision making process for the student. And for grade 11th and 12th student, it's primarily what courses they can shortlist, and depending upon their course options, what are the right colleges within India and even outside India as well. Now, for grade 8 to, I would say, the entire spectrum who is looking for these services or our services, we offer different, tools and ways to help them in this journey. So one is, like many of you would have heard of it, which is a psychometric assessment test, which is more of a quantitative standardized test, which helps in giving insights around the student's aptitude, their work interest area, their foundational personality traits, right? And if given in the right environment, and if it is the right thing for the student to take, then the results which we get really helps in the process of career guidance and career discovery as well. Of course, if there is a need to conduct psychometric assessment, then only we do it, and then we proceed with our counseling sessions where we take students through different career options, and this is again a structured but very customized process for the child. Wherever there is a need, we create a detailed action plan, and of course, for different career pathways which kind of are shortlisted, we also tend to give detailed information around what are the different educational pathways which can be taken to achieve those career options or career pathways. Now, besides this, we also provide our services in higher education admission guidance space, both for overseas and Indian universities. And Indian universities, specifically the new age universities, where the process is just not based on your academic grades and entrance exams, but it goes beyond that. So wherever the holistic admission process is involved, we help students in assessing their profile, discovering their profile, and elevating it in a very, very authentic way, matching it with their strengths, and wherever there are gaps, giving them the right exposure through different activities, and then really create something which can add value to their of course college applications, but even beyond that. The other important point, if again someone is looking for studying abroad, it also boils down to the country which, or the countries which they would want to apply to, and different courses or programs therein. The other important point which I would want to highlight is, because many a times families and even students, they get carried away by, big brand names or Ivy League or so. But there are so many good options available, and it's not that if a college is cream de la cream, that's necessarily the right fit for you. There are many factors which a student and a family should consider, which helps in identifying the best fit college for that child. Now, again, depending upon the country and the college itself, there are multiple aspects to the application. Sometimes, especially again, where there is a holistic admission process and where even answering essay prompts and writing statement of purpose is required, we do provide guidance to the students. And I want to stress upon that it is guidance, right? So we will help you put your story in the most compelling way. I would say your authentic story in the most compelling way. With education becoming so expensive, sometimes families they do not know what are the right means to bring down the cost of attendance. So that's where we make them aware around different scholarships, how they can apply, and all different process which is related to it. Interview preparation, because even in India, new age universities, and even especially if you are looking for business programs at undergrad level, there are many interviews, many presentations which are happening. So we help with mock interviews. Again, it's just to give the feedback so that the child is rightly prepared to face the interview as such. And if you are applying abroad, visa is an important aspect of the entire process, right? To make it happen for you in terms of realizing your dream of studying in a specific country. So we do provide guidance there. We help in even putting your visa SOP, and we have collaborated with visa experts who take care of the entire process as well. So I hope this helps those of you who have joined us for the first time, that what we do and how we help the students out here. So with that, I would like to open our webinar today with a small quiz, and you can see it on your screen. The question is something which you can see it on your screen, and given it is the Zoho is running in webinar mode, so you will have to send in the responses either in the chat or Q&A box, and I would be the one who would be receiving it. And I just want to start with this because remuneration has been always an area of concern when we talk about teaching or education or as a profession. Okay, so you can start putting in your responses. Yes, Mehak, I received it. Okay. Maybe Aparna, you can also take a stab at it. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay, so I think majority is right here. So I'll give you the answer. Aparna, do you want to take a guess here?
I think it's Switzerland.
Absolutely right. You're right. And this is as per the OECD data over the years as such. Okay, now I would also want to tell you a short story in terms of why we thought of uh, doing a career awareness webinar on teaching or education as a profession. So, being a education consulting firm and being in the career and college counseling space, we do have to, read a lot, do a lot of research around varied careers or careers of future, what is happening across industries in terms of job market, and even in different geographies as well. So this goes back maybe like 3 months ago or so, that I was kind of reading something, and then something popped up on teaching as a profession, and that article really started with shortage of quality teachers, and one thing led to another, and I got hold of this report, which is a global report on teachers, which is prepared by UNESCO. And of course, there was a lot of data, but what I would want to highlight today is what that report says in terms of uh, teacher shortage, or what is required to be done by 2030 to achieve universal primary and secondary education, right? So, in terms of number, it's 44 million additional teachers across the globe, which is needed. And if you can see this table, it is dividing across geography, but between primary education and secondary education. So if you see for secondary education, it is 31 million additional teachers which is needed. So that was one reason for me to like start paying greater attention to this profession, because there is a demand and supply gap as of now. Other than that, whenever we interact with students, right, teaching is not the profession which comes up as the first in their mind. But let us not forget that teaching is that one profession which actually creates all others, right? And I'm not just saying that it is for everyone. And of course, through this fireside chat, we will uncover a lot of things wherein I would say that it is worth considering and should be seriously considered by the younger generation. Okay. Having said that, given I realize that secondary education is a space wherein more teachers or more qualified teachers are needed. So, for our career awareness session, I was looking for an experienced secondary education teacher, and that's where I reached out to Aparna, who is also my schoolmate, and I thought, let's do a career awareness session on teaching, and she graciously accepted it. So here we are today, and without further ado, I would like to formally invite Aparna to our fireside chat. Welcome, Aparna.
Thank you so much, Surabhi, for this opportunity and for the amazing work that you're doing. I wish when I was thinking about my careers and all, I had something called Dreamcatcher during that time. But having said that, you are doing amazing work, filling up the gap between what to do and what not to do. Thank you so much for having me over here.
I'm so pleased to hear that. Thank you so much, Aparna. So maybe let's start with a short intro of you, and then we will dive into the fireside chat questions.
Sure. So, good morning, everyone. I currently serve as the head of commerce faculty at GEMS Founder School, Dubai. My role extends beyond classrooms teaching. It includes curriculum designing, mentoring the students, embedding real world skills such as critical thinking, enterprise, and of course, AI development, which contributes to various other learning aspects. I actively contribute and collaborate with colleagues on professional development. I contribute to whole school initiatives and continuously seek innovative ways to make education more meaningful and impactful for students. In addition, I serve as a cluster lead for schools under the leadership of Mr. Matthew Burfield, who is the executive principal and senior vice president of education at GEMS.
Yes.
Beyond this, I also mentor and coach both students and educators at GEMS Founder School Dubai with a focus on empowering them to thrive in today's dynamic world. Apart from this, I like adventure. So I go for skydiving, sometimes zip lining, and I love
Wow.
to sleep.
Amazing. Thank you so much for that introduction and giving your background and current role as well. Thank you so much for that, Aparna. And for our audience, you can also ask your questions. You can put it in the chat or Q&A box. Or if you would want to ask it live, just put it in the chat box, and I'm just constantly hooked on it. So I will also enable your settings, and you can ask your question live as well. Okay, with that, let's shoot our first question to you, Aparna. Okay. Looking back, did you always want to be an educator, or did your journey into this profession kind of happen unexpectedly? Uh, and what really inspired you to pursue this as well?
Okay, that's a very interesting question. I would say I became an educator by choice, not by chance. Growing up in a middle class Indian family, my parents naturally wanted me to pursue medicine. That was the safe and respected option that time. Uh,
Mhm.
but my heart was always in commerce. I found those subjects exciting and so connected to the real world. And it was made more exciting to me by my economics teacher, Sumita Sharma ma'am. And
Okay.
at the time, choosing commerce over science was seen as a risky move. But I went for it anyway. Thankfully, even though it wasn't their first preference, my parents supported me in following my interest. Now, during my university days, my friends used to come home for group study.
Okay.
My friends would tell me that learning with me made things easier for them. So,
Okay.
probably that was the time when the seed was planted, knowingly or unknowingly. But for me, teaching was simply a way of learning better myself. There is a saying like, if you want to learn, you teach. So, that's how I used to learn. Now, that
Okay.
seed grew stronger because of my mother. She used to take tuitions at home, and I would often help her. So
Okay.
slowly and gradually, I realized how much I loved explaining concept or enjoyed connecting with learners and seeing that spark of understanding. That was something which I loved. That's when teaching stopped being just an activity and became a passion, one that eventually shaped my career. And that's why today, as an educator, I strive to create the same clarity, confidence, and probably a sense of connection for my students that my friends experienced while learning with me. So that was a small journey of mine towards teaching.
That's so heartening to hear, Aparna. Thank you so much for sharing that. Now let's dive into the technical aspects of teaching as a profession. So many a times, and this could be like just a misconception as well, but students think that teaching is just all about delivering lessons or delivering lectures. So what are these some of the like hidden aspects of this profession that they may not know? Okay, and if you can also shed some light on what's a typical day of a secondary school teacher, that would also help our audience.
Sure. Frankly telling you, I actually joined teaching thinking that I just have to mark the notebooks and I have to put the attendance. I love doing that. But all my myth was busted once I actually became a teacher. Many people think teaching is simply about delivering lessons, but that's really just the visible part of the job, like an iceberg. Lot more is within, lot more is inside. What happens behind the scenes is just as important. Lesson planning, grading, mentoring, meeting parents, attending professional training, providing pastoral care. A teacher's day often begins well before the school bell rings and extends late into the evening. It's a role that demand not just the knowledge, but also I feel emotional investment, creativity, and adaptability. If I say at its core, teaching is about building relationships and supporting students beyond academics. Now, at this point of time, you will not see the students how they were at our point of time. Nowadays, the students are much fast forward. We need to keep pace with them. And I
Mhm.
often say, I know my students better than their own parents because we see them in so many different moments, challenges, milestones, and their daily lives. I
Mhm.
probably know their life better than their own parents. Sometimes it's something as small as noticing when a usually cheerful student walks into a little quieter than usual, or when someone shows a hidden talent during a project. Those little
Mhm.
insights remind me that our job isn't just only to teach subjects, but to nurture the individuals. And that's what I think teaching is the by far the best profession because we make all other professions.
Sure. No, no second thought to it. if you can also help us understand in terms of technical qualifications, what is needed and what are different certifications which someone can consider if they want to get into this profession, and of course what is the right time to maybe start exploring those.
Yeah. So when it comes to qualification, it really depends on the different stages of teaching. For
Okay.
example, for early years or primary, a bachelor in education or specifically early childhood education or certification is usually essential. But
Okay.
at the secondary level, um, it's like teachers are typically subject specialists. So having a master's in your subject with a teaching qualification, like there is a PGCE. PGCE is mostly accepted in the international schools, or an equivalent. The B.Ed that we do in India, that is also equivalent to PGCE. But my suggestion is whatever course or certification you are doing, it is always better to do a face-to-face course rather than an online course, because when you go for international certification and qualification, or when you go to teach outside India, the ones which are online or the ones which are distance ones specifically, they are not actually taken into account. They are not accredited. So, and apart from teaching, if you are aiming for leadership roles, that's where
Mhm.
additional training in educational leadership or management becomes important, like programs like NPQSL, which is National Professional Qualification of Senior Leaders, NPQH, like National Professional Qualification for Headship. So these are something which helps you to move from teaching to leaders. Like in my own journey, I started as a subject specialist, and that then gradually added leadership training to widen my impact beyond the classroom. So that
Okay.
combination of subject expertise, pedagogy, and leadership skills actually equips you to grow in profession.
It's a continuous learning process as such
Yes,
for the
yes, yes,
teachers.
yes.
Got it. I have
Exactly,
got
absolutely.
Okay, I've got one question from Arindam, and let
Mm-hmm.
me take it right away. Given the rapid pace of change, how do teachers remain up to date with the latest changes in the respective subjects? Maybe you can take example of, like, because you are champion of commerce as such, so maybe you can take that as an example.
Yeah, sure, sure. So, as you know, that it's a rapidly growing world where AI is shaping everything. So, with technology, AI, and online learning reshaping the education, I think the role of teachers have has evolved rapidly. And I bet you in the next 5 years, educators will increasingly serve as facilitators and mentors rather than merely delivering the content. So AI can handle the routine task like grading, personalized practice, which will free the teachers to focus on higher order skills such as critical thinking, creativity, collaboration, emotional intelligence. Now we all say that we should be scared of AI, but I feel we should master the AI rather than being slaves of it. Like in my own experience, I have started using tools like Claude AI, Napkin AI, which have been instrumental in transformation. Now, Claude cannot work until I give the prompt that I want from it. The Napkin AI cannot give me the tasks ranging from lesson planning to personalized learning experience unless and until I give it what I want. So I am required in order to make that AI run. So AI is everywhere. It's up to us how we are going to adapt, how we are going to basically adopt and be adept in using the AI in teaching. Now, if I have to say, when computers came into practice, before that it was typewriters, right? Those who did not adapt themselves with computers, they had to just leave the industry whichever industry they were. The same applies to AI. We as teachers need to be very adept in order to adapt it. Very increasingly it needs to be done, and very quickly it needs to be done.
Okay. And specifically for, yeah, sorry, please go ahead. Are you saying something, Aparna? And
No,
I,
no, no, Surbhi. No, I was not saying anything.
okay. I have got another question.
Yeah.
Samay, I will be taking that question shortly and I will bake your question as well. But Arindam, I hope you got answer to your question. If you have a follow-up to it, just let me know and you can ask it live as well. Okay, so my question to you is, and that's where I will club the other question as well. And of course, I know that there are global opportunities because you yourself are an example in front of us. But help us understand what kind of global opportunities are there for teachers, and uh, how does teaching qualifications really vary between countries? Say, for example, between India and Dubai. And if at all you are aware about any other country, please shed some light on that. Now, let me take his question as well. While you're based in Dubai, are Indian schools making the requisite change in the format of teaching compared to how we grew up? Any particular examples that you could share? Maybe we can take that as a next question. So, first, let's talk about the global opportunities and how, what kind of certifications and how maybe someone can enable themselves for a global teaching career.
So yes, true. Teaching is truly a global profession. Opportunities do exist all over the world, but the qualification and requirements do vary from country to country. For
Hmm.
instance, in India, a B.Ed or M.Ed is often mandatory. In Dubai, international schools typically look for a degree in your subject along with a teaching certification like a PGCE or or its equivalent. PGCE is equivalent to the B.Ed that we do, but B.Ed, if it is done through distance education, it's not accepted here.
Yeah.
In countries such as UK, Canada, or Australia, teachers usually need to be registered with their national teaching councils.
Okay.
While the frameworks differ, what good schools everywhere look for remains the same. It's the strong qualifications, proven teaching skills, and the ability to adapt to diverse classrooms. Now, speaking from my own experience, I moved into the international school environment here in Dubai, and it required me not only to meet the qualification but also adapt my teaching approaches to a highly multicultural student body. It taught me that being flexible, open minded, and culturally aware is just as important as your formal credentials. And that's what makes teaching globally rewarding. There are certain taboo topics here which we cannot speak. So it's like getting to know more about the country, about its culture, about its value, and the dynamic student body that comes to us. So I have taught in Indian curriculum as well here, and I have now I'm teaching in a British curriculum. So I have got the experience of both.
Okay. So then again, you might be best suited to answer this question, and I'll just read it out again. While you're based in Dubai, are Indian schools making the requisite change in the format of teaching compared to how we grew up? Okay, he's a parent of a student. Okay.
Okay.
Any
Yes.
particular examples that you could share?
Okay. Yes, there is a complete change of the way the Indian curriculum is taught over here. So there is an education body here called KHDA, Knowledge and Human Development Authority. So what they do is they go to every schools once in a year in order to see how the progress and attainment of students is happening. It's not like the rote learning that we used to have. It's more of collaboration, critical thinking. Like, for example, in commerce, if I have to say, it's not just the textbooks which are there in the school. We do not ask the students to bring the textbooks. It's like everything is taught through case studies. So we analyze the case studies with them, and we make them understand, or we make them comprehend how the analysis of case studies happen in order to understand a specific content. So the curriculum is the same, what Indian students are doing in India, but the way it is taught in terms of project, in terms of collaboration, in terms of educational trips, that happens more in Indian curriculum over here.
Okay, okay. And you mentioned that now you are, and this is the question from my side,
Yeah,
British curriculum, which is, I know there are varied theirs,
yeah.
but which one is James Founder School kind of taking into account?
So GEMS is a very big group over here. If I have to say, like in India, we have DPS, and they
Hmm.
have various branches. Like that,
Hmm.
GEMS is a global education management system. Under GEMS comes Indian curriculum. Under GEMS comes British curriculum. Under GEMS comes American curriculum, and there
Okay.
are other curriculums as well. So and GEMS is a big umbrella under which all these curriculums are a part of.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Fine. So now let me move to the next one. And you have kind of in your earlier responses indicated that, but maybe if you can put some more light on it, that would help. Which is, how can educators continue to grow in their careers? And primarily, what does a career progression for a teacher looks like within the school setup?
Yeah. So anywhere a person can grow if they commit for their own continuous learning. The same happens for educators as well. Now this can take many forms. It can be through the professional development workshop, or advanced degrees, or leadership training, or collaboration with colleagues. Now career progression often starts in the classroom, then moves into leadership roles like head of department or faculty head, then academic coordinators, then vice principal, and eventually the principal. In my own journey, I started as a subject teacher and
Okay.
gradually took on responsibilities like mentoring, cluster leadership, high performance learning, etc. Now, each step involved learning new skills. I am very much onto the social media platform to search what is good for me, how can I improve myself every year, adapting to the challenges and expanding my impact beyond the classroom. So growth isn't limited to leadership roles. Educators can also make a difference through curriculum development, through
Yeah.
consultancy firms, or even influencing the educational policies. So the key is to stay curious, keep learning, and look ways to contribute in meaningful ways at the stage of your career. So after I became a teacher, in spite of after that, I have done NPQSL, I have done the certification in high performance learning from UK. So every time it's like evolving. I am evolving, and I just want to be the best version of myself. So there's no competition. It's the competition within oneself, which probably helps us to grow further.
Very nicely put. Thank you so much for that, Aparna. Now, maybe I'll try to tackle the elephant in the room, which is remuneration, right? And let me put the question straight to you, because when you talk about teaching as a profession to the younger generation, remuneration is often a key factor which they may or may not get too convinced, right? So, could you share how teachers' salaries vary globally, some kind of range, and highlight which countries currently offer the best pay package? Of course, through the quiz which we ran initially, we kind of indicated one of the European countries, but the floor is yours here to provide a different perspective around this remuneration aspect.
Um, so yeah, teacher salaries, they can vary quite a bit around the world. Now, generally, countries like Switzerland, Luxembourg, Germany, and even Nordic countries are known for offering some of the highest pay packages for educators. In the Middle East, especially in UAE and Qatar, teachers often enjoy competitive packages that include tax free salaries, additional benefits like house rent allowance or full fee concession for your child. That said, while pay is important, it's not the only factor that contributes to a fulfilling career. Many educators find true satisfaction in the school culture,
Mm.
the engagement they have with the students, and the opportunities to grow professionally. So, when considering global opportunities, my humble suggestion is it's always worth looking at the full picture, not just the salary.
No, well said, for sure. Now, of course, technical knowledge, technical know-how in your field or in your subject is very, very important. But what are the other skills or competencies which are very important for a teacher or an educator to really thrive in their career per se?
Yeah. The first and foremost, I feel, is lot of patience and empathy. Along with that, of course, strong communication skills, adaptability, creativity, subject expertise, as you all know. But just subject expertise is not enough. Subject expertise with a passion for lifelong learning. Everyone feels that teacher knows everything. No, teacher is also a learner. And of course, another aspect of quality in a successful educator would be the ability to inspire, build relationships, and above all, the belief that every child has a potential. Yeah, that's what
Got it.
I
Got
thought.
it. Okay, I'll take one audience question because we have like two lined up as of now. So, with online learning picking up, do we really need schools? Okay, maybe you can share your thoughts there.
Yeah. See, as I said, it's up to us to decide on whether online schooling is important or not. According to me, online schooling does not give the emotional intelligence. It does not enhance that. The collaboration that the students can do with each other in a face-to-face classroom, that is absent over there. And above all, we all have seen how in pandemic we all were in within the four walls, and of course there were pros of online learning, but at the same time there were cons also. The students who came after the pandemic to the school, they took at least 6 to 8 months to actually make them emotionally strong in the classroom environment with everyone around. So the basic things in the student, not the academic aspect, but in order to see the overall aspect, I feel that going for a face to face education is much better than the online learning.
Okay. Thank you for that, Aparna. Let me take this one question as well. There are more females than males in the school environment. Is there any specific reason for that? I don't know, like,
Yeah.
okay.
If yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
so we
that
were
was
saying
the question. Yeah, that was
something.
the only statement which was put.
Okay. So if I have to say that earlier it was yes, the male teachers were less, but now if I see over here, there are more male teachers. But if the ratio has to be taken into consideration, yes, females ratio is more than the male, probably because we females have a lot of patience and empathy more than the males. I'm not comparing much, but then that could be one of the reason. And of course, as I told you that pay is one of the main reason, which probably the females do not look into much, and they feel that it's the full picture that they take into consideration rather than only the pay package. So that could be the reasons, but it all depends on various people, their aspirations. So I cannot actually compare between the male and female over there.
Okay, I think this was a curious male child who asked this question. Okay, now, of course, like every profession has its rewards as well as challenges, and you did touch upon lot of rewards in your different replies to all the questions. But help us understand the other side of the coin. What are different challenges which a teacher face, and what are different ways even to navigate through those?
Yeah. So I remember when I started teaching in India, at that time the strength of the class used to be 50, 55, 60 students. That is a massive challenge, managing large, diverse classrooms. But here I have seen a difference. Here you cannot have in one set of classroom more than 30 students.
Okay.
So that is actually a consideration that the educational body over here has taken into picture, that it's actually very difficult or probably impossible to give a one-on-one attention to a classroom which has 60, 70 students. So managing large and diverse classrooms is one of the biggest challenge for teachers. Keeping students motivated in a world full of distractions, that's another biggest challenge, because I think everyone knows that the attention span is only 6 to 7 minutes, I think. So how to motivate them in that 40 minutes lesson or 50 minutes lesson, that's one of the challenge. So in order to do that, a teacher has to do a lot of research work, bring out activities, bring out certain topics, or like anything that can be made into a debate, and then analyze the things around. So in a class, if there are 30 students, 30 students will have different way of learning. So the teacher will have to understand, build the relationships with them, and try to find out the ways and means how to motivate them in a class of 40 minutes. uh, then another biggest challenge is balancing the admin tasks with actual teaching. A
Mm.
lot of report work, a lot of marking, uh, parents, mails to the parents. Now, mails to the parents, probably during my time, we used to have the diary, and the teacher used to write the negative things that happened so that the parent can see what the child has done. But nowadays, it's not the negative, it's even the positive aspect of the child can be mailed to the parents. So those admin tasks, because that clashes with the actual teaching. So balancing both of them, that is the biggest challenge. What else is the biggest challenge? Yeah, meeting the needs of the students, because during our time, we I never heard of anything called special education needs. Now we have that very much as a part and parcel of our curriculum, the special education needs, whether it's Indian curriculum or British curriculum. In Dubai, in UAE, that is given a lot of importance. And there are tests which are done in order to find out the needs of the student. If we find difficulty in taking care of any specific student, we have a special department called special education needs. So they come and help us in order to make sure how to tackle the difficulties that specific child is. There are various levels for it. So if it's a level 1, then the child can, like, the teacher is capable of handling the child. If there is a level 2, then we are given a passport for that child, telling us the various ways with which the child's learning can be enhanced. And if it's a level 3, then we have a learning assistant always throughout 24 hours with that child in order to support that child. So various learning needs, meeting the needs of the students. If we do not have this support from the school, then it can be quite challenging. And the last but not the least, work life balance. That's something which is challenging. Yeah.
So I received one question already, which says, Aparna ma'am, how long is your workday?
Okay, so I start at 7 o'clock in the morning, and the students go back home by 2:45. But we have our professional training workshops. Either I am giving the training or I am receiving the training. All those things on a daily basis. By the time I reach back home, it's almost 5 in the evening.
Okay. And do you have, and this is from me, like post school work as well, or how
Yeah,
they
yeah.
usually
Suppose if there are exam time when there are. So I am a Pearson examiner as well.
Oh,
So I
nice.
get, yeah. So I get the papers to mark online from around the world. So I do not know from which part of the world, but yeah, I register myself for that. So I keep myself busy. It's not mandatory that teachers have to come back and do that. So during exam season, I'm quite busy when I am at home because I am not able to complete that task in the school with the teaching and with the other roles that I'm doing. So during exam time, yes, it is. And for me, I do, though it's been now 17 years into teaching, but I feel that I still have to do more. So if tomorrow I have this 5 lessons in a day, I will open the PPT, I will sit how I can tweak this, how I can tweak that. So all those things is from my end. It's not mandatory that the teachers have to come back from school and do the work. During exam season, it's like I think every teacher does it during the exam time, either creating worksheets or extra support for the students or marking the papers. That's a part and parcel of this job. Yeah.
Got it. So I have 3 to 4 more questions to go, but let me again continue with the audience question as well. So
Yeah.
again, this is from Samarid.
Hmm.
Aparna ma'am, if you have to pick between India or Dubai for
Yeah.
professional work, that is teaching, what would
Yeah.
you pick?
Of course, Dubai.
Hmm. Okay.
Yeah. And why? Because I feel here I have learned more in terms of technology, in terms of AI, and in the way the content is being taught to the students. It's not like the rote learning that we used to have. Probably in India also, they must have changed. I've not gone to any of the educational institution over there since 11, 12 years now. So might be there must have been changes over there. Apart from that, what I look forward in Dubai is, of course, the lifestyle, the safety, all those things. If I compare, I would say Dubai. And if I have to see the personal aspect of it, like relationships, festivals, and all that, I miss a lot over here in Dubai. Of course, it is there here and there, but the relatives, the relationships, the roots, all those things are there in India, which I miss a lot.
Okay. So Dubai it is. That's what
Yep.
we will say.
Till
Okay.
the time Dubai does not throw me out, then Dubai. There is no job security over here. That's one of the challenge. Yes, you
Mm-hmm.
can be laid off at any point of time. Of course, they will be giving you some time, like 2 months or 3 months, and then do not have a permanent residency over here.
Ah,
You
that's a
don't get a
challenge.
citizenship over here. Yeah. So those are the challenges. If during my retirement time, then I will have to come back to India. There is no other choice unless and until I have earned good enough that I can splurge over here in the Dubai. Apart from that, I will have to come back to India because there is no citizenship over here. Yeah.
But I'm sure with your teaching experience, the community here, the teaching community here would be happy to have you back anytime.
Oh, thank
I'm pretty
you.
sure about that. Okay, so there is one other question which is on AI, and you have actually touched upon some bit of it. So it is, don't you think so? AI can take away the job of a teacher completely. What's your take on that?
Yeah, as I said earlier, we should master AI. We should not become the slave of it. So, for example, if you are using any app of AI, it requires a specific prompt. So, if that prompt is not given, the AI cannot work in an effective manner. So, the teacher's role is like the tools that AI is giving, it's just to augment the teacher's role. It's not to take teacher's role. It's to allow more personalized and efficient learning experiences. So the teacher's role as a human connector and guide will become more vital than ever if they are supported by these innovative technologies. So I still feel that we as human beings, that human touch, the robots cannot give to the students.
Mhm. Aparna, this is my question to you because we are talking about AI right now. Have you seen any kind of changes in the, you know, job posting, both in terms of number as well as, you know, job requirements for a teacher at a secondary school level? Is that changing with AI coming in the picture?
As of now, we haven't seen any changes much, but yeah, the
Okay.
requirements a bit it has changed, because all the schools are looking for the teachers who are good at um, tackling the AI, or to bring the activities in the lesson which has AI. So those things are coming into the requirements part of the teachers nowadays. Not only teachers, even the administrators as well.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, let me move to again from a career standpoint. How should young adults or like younger generation should really explore and kind of decide whether teaching is the right profession for them? Do you have any kind of maybe suggestions here that how they can explore further? Are there any means to test it in a small way?
Yeah. So, for young people, or for students, if they're wondering if teaching might be the right path, the best way to find out is to get hands-on experience, I feel. Try tutoring younger students, volunteering at school, or even mentoring your peers. Spend time observing the teachers in action, and don't be afraid to ask them questions about their work, I feel. Most importantly, reflect on how you feel in those moments. If you enjoy breaking down concept, if you feel energized when you're helping someone understand something new, or if you find satisfaction in supporting others to grow, those are strong signs that teaching could be your calling, because that's how I found out.
Got it, got it. I know these days there are a lot of, career simulators and
Yeah.
a way, maybe internship is one way, but I don't know how much formally it is encouraged when we talk about teaching. Can students really intern at schools, or it's like more of a concept which is not discussed? Because of course they do see teachers day in and day out, right, because they are studying in school environment, but taking it as a profession and kind of test driving it to an extent, which is what I said, that some in some form or shape you can virtually have a virtual simulation of a career or test drive a career. Is that a possibility in teaching? Have you seen anything like that happening or not at all?
Yeah, so here what we do is we allow the students, those who have passed out from our school, they take some time in order to get into university. Like there is a gap of 2 to 3 months. So
Hmm?
we do give them the option that if they want, they can come and teach in the school for this part of the lesson, or for this from this time to this time, not the whole day. Uh, but for just to understand the classroom environment, we do guide them on what to teach. We do give our presentations to them, and then they bring up their own tweaks into that, and they have done that. So there are students, those who, so it's not like a paid internship,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
but they get experience of how to handle various things in that 40 minutes class or in a 50 minutes class. And even in the smaller classes, we allow the students to go and do storytelling with them, or do some hands-on activities with them, so that they get a feel of what the teachers are doing. So that can be done within the school as well.
Okay, got it. Aparna, I got one more question here. Okay, can I switch from teaching to any other profession? Okay, so
It
are there any
depends on
transferable?
the yeah, so it depends on the specialization, right? The other job may be requiring a specialized work or specialized professional knowledge from your end. So you need to first do that and then switch. It happens in any of the profession, whether you want to switch from teaching to any other profession. It all depends on the professional knowledge or professional qualification that you would be doing in order to switch. You cannot just switch without any professional aspect of it.
I think there are a lot of transferable skills, especially from teaching. If you go into the leadership school, leadership role within the school itself, uh,
Yeah.
you can get into the management of
Yes.
school setup, much more like a corporate setup as well. Is that a
Yeah.
fair statement to make?
If that is the question, yes, that is absolutely achievable. But then if it's entirely a different profession, then I think you will have to start from the scratch in order to go into an entirely different profession.
Makes sense. Absolutely. Okay, so Aparna, what kind of individuals or students should really avoid pursuing teaching as a profession? What's your thought there?
That's a very nice, interesting, reflective question. Uh, as I said, that teaching is a deeply rewarding profession, but it's not the right fit for everyone. If someone struggles with patience or dislikes constant interaction with people, but because not everyone likes interacting with people, or sees teaching only as a way to earn a salary, they may quickly find this demands of this career overwhelming. From my own experience, I have seen colleagues who absolutely thrive because they are driven by passion. They love connecting with students, and that
Mm.
energy carries them through all the challenges. But at the same time, I have also seen others burn out when their heart was not really in it. So that's why I always say teaching requires emotional resilience, a lot of emotional resilience, adaptability, and above all, a genuine love for working with young people. Without that, the journey can feel very heavy. So, teaching becomes one of the most fulfilling careers you could ever choose if you actually have a passion to do that.
Okay, got it. I got a question, or I don't know whether that's a comment or a question. So, is it not for introverts?
It depends on it's not like I am an introvert. I'm telling you, I changed myself and I have become an ambivert. I will say I'm still not extrovert. I cannot go into a room full of adults and talk, but probably I can connect with young kids, though I am an introvert. So it depends on various aspects of introverts. Introvert just doesn't mean that you cannot talk with anyone. Introverts also have a connection with different kinds of people. So you need to see, as an introvert, with whom can you connect better. As an introvert, you could connect better with foundation stage kids. You can connect better with young students. So I cannot connect well with smaller kids, but I can connect well with teens. I can understand them more. So as an introvert, you need to see where your calling is. I will not say that it's not a job for introverts at all. Introverts also have their own likings, so you need to tap into it and see that.
Mhm. I think very well put, Aparna. Thank you so much for that. And I know we are drawing close towards 12:30 here in India. So maybe I'll just ask you to give your final piece of advice for students who may be considering it or should be considering it as a profession to take forward.
Okay. um, I wish I had the dream catchers during my time. So you have the dream catchers with you right now. So that's the best way to find out whether teaching is your calling or not. And along with that, my advice is explore the option as an with an open mind. Teaching is one of the most rewarding profession because you are not just sharing knowledge, you are shaping lives and futures. Start small, shadow a teacher, look for internships, or even try mentoring your peers. Those experiences will actually give you a real taste of what the profession is like. In fact, that's how my journey began. So
Yeah.
along the way, don't just have that uh, academic qualifications with you. Focus on building strong communication, empathy, leadership skills. Even if you don't end up choosing teaching, these qualities will actually serve you well in any field. But if you feel that spark, the joy of helping someone learn and grow, that could be the beginning of a meaningful journey. So don't just go with the academic qualification, enhance your personality by building up your knowledge, by building up your communication, by enhancing your empathy, and of course, the leadership skills.
Great. Thank you so much, Aparna. I think this has been a very, very insightful session. And I feel like with your responses, we were able to do justice in terms of bringing teaching as a career option as a conversation itself, right? So that's what I feel after this almost like an hour long conversation. So thank you once again. I know it's an early morning there in Dubai. So really, really grateful to you for taking out time, and to all the students and parents who are, I would say this is a sign of being open-minded itself, because when we mentioned about this career, people registered. They still want to hear it out. So especially for those of you who joined today's session. So I'm really, really appreciative of your open-mindedness in terms of listening to various career options. Having said that, you can really, you know, just go and follow us on our social media channels so that you know which other career webinars we are hosting. Explore different options. Try to hear from all different industry experts, because that will really, really make your decision solid and with full conviction. So with that, thank you once again, Aparna, and thank you everyone.
Thank you. It was my pleasure. Thank you so much, Survi.
Thanks. Have a good one, everyone. Bye bye.
Bye.
Take care.